What's the story, team? My name is Ian. Very welcome to my YouTube channel. So, most of you have probably gotten here from my Instagram page, maybe my Twitter page at Iron Ian PT, and if you have done so, thank you very much. I hope you've already gone down and clicked that subscribe button and that little bell everyone tells you to ring so you get a notification when I do upload. So what will we be seeing over here on this YouTube channel that we maybe wouldn't have seen over on my Instagram page? So the big one is this facilitates us having more long form content, better discussions, more insight rather than those short clips you'll get on the stories. Or, I know that IGTV is a little bit longer, but people typically don't spend a lot of time on Instagram to watch a 15-minute video. So hopefully when you navigate here, you're ready to see some more long form discussion. Maybe I'll have some other trainers on once we can all get back together. I know in the past, many of you were checking out the Iron Mindset podcast, which we did have on Spotify, iTunes, etc. Myself and Mario. We are in the process of rebooting that and having it a bit better. But until everyone can get together again, that one's on the back burner. But you'll be dealing with me here for the next little while. So how can I help you? And what are we doing here today? First things first, I will frequently now be posting question boxes on my Instagram page and down here on YouTube. I will post some polls, and based on the results of those, we'll have some discussions, hoping for at least once a week upload, maybe more depending on how we're getting on, and we'll take it from there. I did screen one question from a couple of weeks ago. This was back in December, a couple of weeks ago. Jesus, that's a while back now. Back in December when the gyms were open, somebody asked me a question, which I did reply to in DM, but I'm going to outline here to give you a bit of advice for today. We're halfway through March, so hopefully we won't be waiting more than another 4 to 6 weeks to see our gyms open again. Anyway, so the question was, what advice would you give to somebody who's training under a strict time limit? So at the time in Ireland, most gyms are operating under a booking system where you can only book in for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. So what would I do? What would I prioritize? I'm going to assume you are just training for general health and fitness. You're not necessarily training for powerlifting, weightlifting, bodybuilding, any specific field sport, because my advice might be different then. So let's just assume you're training for general physical fitness and health and trying to get the most bang for your buck when you go into that gym. So if you're only operating under about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, it's not going to give you a lot of time to do a lot of very heavy lifting unless you're only prioritizing 1 or 2 movements for the day, which is fine. But again, depends on what your goals are. So I'm going to keep this as general as possible. You walk into the gym, I want you to grab a squat rack. Our first move is going to be the front squat. So why the front squat? It's handier to achieve a higher rate of exertion with the front squat with less weight than a back squat. Most people are pretty damn strong in the back squat, and they can usually need a lot more weight to get the desired result, to get the desired exertion or RPE. The issue there is if you've only got an hour and 15 minutes, let's say, we don't want you to be running all over the gym looking for the 20s and 25s. I want you to be able to load up somewhere, I don't know, let's say 100 kilos, 140 kilos, depending how strong you are or whatever, and be able to get a good workout out of that. Let's say we're doing 3 sets of 10, we're going to do the reps at tempo, we're going to go 3-0, 1-0. That's usually going to add a significant amount of raised exertion to that movement if you can do that, yeah? So we're going to start with the front squat. Once we've done that, we're going to bring the bar down to the floor. We're going to do Romanian deadlifts, RDLs. Again, doesn't take as much weight as pulling a deadlift from the floor, though feel free to sub that in if you want. We can do sets of three sets of 6 to 8 reps. Again, we can employ that tempo, we can employ pauses. Doesn't take a massive amount of weight, and we can usually move through it a little bit faster. The weight between the RDL and the front squat are probably going to be more alike than if we were doing heavy back squats and heavy deadlifts. Usually going to take a few more warm-ups as well. So that's the lower body finished off. We've got our front squat, our Romanian deadlift. We're probably about halfway through the session now. Look above. We've got a pull-up bar. You're going to do either pull-ups or chin-ups depending on preference. Let's just say chin-ups for the sake of ease. They're usually a little easier for people than the pull-ups, so chin-ups it is. Good thing about these is they are going to work a little bit of bicep. They're going to get that mid back, and if you've got a dip belt, you're usually going to be able to get a bit more weight on it. Now that's assuming you do. If you don't, again, you can use tempo, the slow lowering down, maybe a pause up at the top or at the bottom position, and it depends on your strength, your body weight, your athleticism. Maybe you can do this for only 5 reps, maybe 20, I don't know. So work in the range that you're capable of. And then last thing we'll say to throw in there is dips. So most racks are going to have a dip attachment, and you can get a nice deep dip in there. It's going to help the chest, the triceps, and the shoulders. Those will be the 4 moves I'd prioritize. Again, pull-ups and the dips can be progressed with a dip belt. So a belt you put around, put a plate or a dumbbell through it. and the other two, again, don't require a massive amount of weight to get an effective workout. You may even have some time left over if you want to go upstairs, do some cardio, do some sprints, or whatever it might be. I'm basing this off my gym. But look, it's not that there's anything inherently brilliant about those 4 moves. It's absolutely fine if you say, well, I want to go do bench press, bent over rows, overhead press, and bicep curls. Whatever works for you and whatever you're aiming for. There's nothing inherently better about these 4 moves. This is just the advice I'm giving you to save you having to move around and grab a lot of different equipment. These 4 things can all be done in one rack, only needing a barbell and a couple of plates and a dip attachment. So hopefully that's of use to you. And gang, thank you very much for jumping across, joining me here on YouTube. And we will keep the content coming. Again, if you have any suggestions, anything you want to ask, you want to give me some feeder content, head over to Instagram or send a DM here, send a DM there, send a tweet. Why not? All right, have a good day, team, and I'll catch you in the next one.